ResortLoop.com is proud to be sponsored by Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company. Joffrey's now offers coffee subscriptions. You can order a 3, 6, or 12-month subscription. You can choose from 3 collections: the Flavored Coffee Collection, the Roastmasters Collection, or the Disney Signature Coffee Collection. Each collection includes 3 bags per month. With the Joffrey's Coffee subscriptions, never run out of great coffee again. Learn more and order at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
For those of you who have joined us at the Polynesian Village Resort Hotel, aloha, and welcome aboard the Walt Disney World local monorail system. During the trip, we request that everyone please remain seated and that there please be no eating, drinking, or smoking. Thank you. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. This is the gateway to the magic. ResortLoop.com. Thanks for joining us for the show. We're going to do a little news catch-up story here. Not news about catch-up. We're going to get caught up on some of the news going on in Disney. We're going to concentrate mostly on the parks, but we'll have some other things going on. I want to start off by mentioning that the buzz around the Disney Wish has been huge this week. We're finding out more details about the ship. We'll talk about that on a future show coming up real soon. But the prices for the cruise initially are a massive. It's crazy out there what the prices are going to be for this inaugural sailing. We knew it was going to be high, and the first couple of sailings after that. But if you look into the fall, the pricing becomes a little more reasonable. And I will say, if you're looking to cruise and you're thinking, maybe this Disney Wish thing looks fantastic, look us up at Resort Loop Travel. We'll be happy to help you out with that. Or if you're looking at it and saying, that's a little too high, take a look at the Dream and the Fantasy. Take a look at the other Disney ships. Those are fantastic cruise ships, and I want them to get a little love here, because the Wish is going to be the shining star and the jewel of the crown, as they say at the Disney Cruise Line right now, because of all the enchantment. Little fact, the enchantment is actually one of the names that was on board for the Disney Wish, so we will need to see if one of the next 2 ships coming may be able to break out the name Enchantment for that. And I will say, my first cruise actually was on the Royal Caribbean Enchantment of the Seas, so just throwing out that out there as a little aside. And by the way, Royal Caribbean, great cruise line also. Doesn't have quite the Disney magic, but it's a top tier cruise line. Don't be afraid to check out Royal Caribbean also. I want to start off the show, as actually I was getting the show notes ready, a few days ago now at this point. Actually, in our mainstream news up here in Ohio, there was a story that about the Disney parks having a decreased revenue of 44%. And initially I thought, wow, 44%, that's it? After being closed for however long because of the whole COVID situation, I didn't think that was too bad. But I had to check, because they were talking about the Disney parks now, because, with all the recent masks mandates and, being able to wear them at Disney now. Outside, you still need to wear them inside and in queues. But outside, generally, you can have your masks off. I was curious as if they're going to expand capacity, because there was rumors that had started up. So as soon as I saw the news story, I'm like, well, I'm going to look and see what the park availability is. And for the next month, so this would be a month from last week, so about 2 months, there wasn't a whole lot of park availability. Epcot was, I think, the only park that was open. There were a few Animal Kingdom days in there. So I'll be anxious to keep an eye on that, see if they're going to actually open up some dates, get some more guests into the park, maybe open up some more hotels and more hotel rooms, because I understand that some of the hotels, while they're open, aren't actually at full capacity either. So if we see theme parks opening up in the next month or so, we will know they have increased capacity. They're at, 35% now. I see it going to 50 is a logical explanation. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go up to 60. Go up to 60 and then maybe 75%. But anyway, about the 44%, I was like, where did the general news, because they never actually cite their source. They just say Disney's reporting. Looked it up, did a little Google search, and it was actually in the Disney earnings report last week. And they said that the quarter decreased 44% to $3.2 billion. But that was actually offset by, remember, Disney experiences and products. So some of the products that were actually involved in helping it keep it up a little bit, to help boost it, so it was only 44%, was actually boosted by increases in merchandise and games licensing revenues. So we all knew that video game licensing was kind of a big deal, but you didn't realize exactly how much. So the merchandise was driven by the higher revenue for merchandise on Star Wars, and that included the Mandalorian, the Princesses, and Mickey and Minnie. And it also offset, and they mentioned this in the report, which kind of surprised me, decrease in revenues from merchandise based on Frozen. How about that? That's kind of you don't hear that talking about maybe, Frozen's tailing off. Obviously, it's not going lower, but it's tailing off just a little bit. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And the increase in the game's revenues was due to Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales. And there were higher royalties in something called Twisted Wonderland. I'm not very, very familiar with that game at all. And there were actually lower royalties from the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game. So just some interesting facts I want to throw in there. The most interesting one was that Frozen, I thought, was tailing off a little bit in the merchandise side of things. So interesting to talk about. I'm very excited to mention that the Jungle Cruise is coming out this December, July 30th. You can see it in theaters and on Disney Plus. I imagine it's going to have that $20 or $30 surcharge. I'm still not sure I would pay that necessarily, knowing that eventually it'll be there, but maybe I will. We'll see how things go. The Jungle Cruise movie is, I think Disney is planning on that, putting a lot of attention on the ride. That's why I think you're seeing some changes to the ride, maybe making it a little less political correctness. We're going to correct a little things there. So when people maybe go on the Jungle Cruise that haven't been on the Jungle Cruise because they've seen the movie, so then people who haven't been on the cruise before said, well, that was mildly, maybe culturally not appropriate. Let's just say that. That being said, while there's been no official announcement on anything yet, we know they're doing a little bit of retheming of the attraction. Nothing, as far as we know, that's geared specifically for what's in the movie. Although if the movie is huge, because we all know Disney is hoping for that next big franchise. They would love for this movie to take off and, get 4 or 5 movies out of it. Very similar to the Pirates of the Caribbean and that whole saga. I would not be surprised at all to see a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson animatronic. It would be very muscular and tattooed, and then you could just, move it over to a Moana attraction at some point, or put up at the Polynesian. Oh, we could put it right in the middle of the lobby. Goodbye, Maui. Hello, Maui. That was interesting. Oh, same name, different characters. One's highly tattooed. Anyway, a few days ago on May 4th, may the 4th be with you, some of the big news was about the Galactic Starcruiser, the Halcyon. That'll be that new vacation experience. They're calling it cruise-like, but land-based, but actually space-based. A windowless hotel that's going to be highly themed, roving characters. I should say roaming characters, not roving characters. Roaming characters. I want to say all-inclusive almost. We'll have to see. I'm not sure meals are necessarily going to be included in there. But one of the first things they showed, they used this May the 4th announcement and this news here to show the famous lightsaber. It was like the one, if it wasn't the same one, that Josh D'Amaro had at his webcast that not everybody saw, but everybody heard about. But we got to see how that kind of worked. The thing looks, in the video, it looks amazing. But besides the lightsaber looking amazing, and I'm sure you'll have an opportunity to purchase one. Although it'd be nice if the one came with your room, for what apparently these rooms we think are going to be charged. But we'll see. It says the guest adventure begins at Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser Terminal at Walt Disney World, where guests will gather with fellow passengers before departing for their intergalactic destination. Guests will soon enter a special launch pod and leave their world behind as they make a hyperspace jump up to a galaxy far, far away. I hope that launch pod does not actually run into the space elevator to the Space 220 restaurant, but we don't have an opening date on that yet either. But continue with the Galactic Starcruiser. Guests will watch through viewports as they approach the massive and magnificent Halcyon Starcruiser, which will be their home for the next 2 nights. So we do know it's going to be a 2-night experience. For a limited time, the Hollywood Studios guests can now see a model of the ship. When the launch pod's airlock slides open, guests will take their first step into a galaxy far, far away as Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser comes to life all around them. During their stay aboard this glamorous ship, guests may interact with an eclectic group of characters. Eclectic means quirky, usually. Both familiar and new, possibly including the Starcruiser's strong and charismatic captain, a plunky ship's mechanic, and a galactic superstar who can captivate an entire room with a crook of one of the jewel-encrusted purple Twi'lek finger. I don't know what that means. It sounds like it should almost be a dish. I like a dessert of the jewel-encrusted purple Twi'lek finger. The singing sensation will be a featured performer during one of the exquisite dining experiences inside the Crown of the Corellia dining room. How about that? It says the dining room is a bright and welcoming hall that will offer breakfast and lunch to passengers before transitioning in the evening to a lavish multi-course menu of both otherworldly and familiar origins. So I'm glad to see it's going to be bright and welcoming, because I'm kind of picturing this Halcyon as obviously I have no real windows to the outside, so you really won't see any kind of sun type thing, I'm not thinking. Unless you take the, what would you call it? The Port Adventure to Batuu, to the Galaxy's Edge. So as the journey continues, guests will have the opportunity to train in the ancient ways of the lightsaber. You can learn more about the inner workings of the Halcyon Starcruiser, even jump on a transport to the pilot of Batuu, there you go, to further their adventure inside Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It isn't storytelling, it's story living, where you will see, feel, and live Star Wars in a whole new way. So I'll be keeping an eye out, let you know what we find out about the Galactic Starcruiser, the Halcyon, the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, the trip to Batuu. I love the fact that when I get there with the minivan, we'll have to gather into a special launch pod. That's fantastic. So, all right, I want to switch to some dining. I'm very excited. With the recent mask mandates, you don't need them outside. We talked about that a little bit. Restaurants are reopening. I'm going to start us off with a lot of people's favorite restaurants, Chef Mickey's over the contemporary 4th floor Grand Canyon Concourse. Do they still call it the Grand Canyon Concourse? I think they do. Basking in the glow of the monorail, of the Mary Blair mural, the tinted glass with the light shining in. Oh my gosh. Although this was already opened. It's now, as we mentioned it before earlier, all you care to enjoy, family style dinner, no touch appearances. You can wave and get a selfie with Mickey Mouse and some of his favorite guests, and you can take home a souvenir with genuine character signatures and colorful artwork. I thought since that's has reopened, we're going to go over the menu real quick. This is the Chef Mickey's Family Breakfast Menu. The prices. Once again, remember, this is Chef Mickey's, heart of the contemporary resort, a hop, skip, and a jump away from the Magic Kingdom, either by walk or by monorail ride. $42 per adult, $27 per child. That does not include your tax and gratuity. They have, under they call them the chilled section, fruits of the season and mini yogurt parfaits. And then they have, under the unique breakfast bread selection, so your morning carbs, actually, harvest sweetbreads with a honey butter, a sea salt, and a cream cheese. And the cream cheese icing is apparently poured tableside. Hello? Oh my goodness. Fresh fried sweet fritter with vanilla cinnamon sugar. Man, that'll get you wound up to tour the park for a little bit. That or trigger a nap. It's going to be one or the other. And then the, what we'll call it the regular breakfast foods, the scrambled eggs, the chicken sausage, slow roasted beef brisket with mushrooms, ragu, and roasted onions. Oh, the Mickey waffles, the pork sausage link. And here's something new that I don't think I've noticed before. They actually have an option for a Mickey-shaped waffle, a plant-based option. So a plant-based, oh my goodness, Mickey waffle, smoked bacon, and a tofu scramble. That's another plant-based option. And then you can also get the loaded potato cheese casserole, yes please, a celebration Mickey pancake, and the banana bread French toast. Now stay with me on this one. The banana bread French toast has espresso mascarpone cream, toasted bananas, and chocolate crumbles. Fantastic sounding. Sign me up for that one. And then there's a sort of non-alcoholic specialty drinks, some morning cocktails for those that might need something early in the morning there. And then they also have some allergy-friendly options for breakfast there also. So if that's something you're kind of interested in, that is Chef Mickey's for breakfast. Now, we all knew they were going to have the Mickey waffles for breakfast, but let's transition over to dinner. We've digested the Mickey waffles. Maybe we've toured the park. Maybe we had a slow pool day. We're going to top it off with a nice dinner, some nice food here in the Contemporary. Still at Chef Mickey's. This one, a little pricier than breakfast. I know you're surprised to hear that one. $55 per adult and $36 per child per tax and gratuity. This is getting kind of pricey for, let's see how the character experiences go. I'm sure they'll be coming out this week. We might see some videos and pictures and that kind of thing. So let's start with this. The first course for Chef Mickey's. A seasonal composed plant-based salad. A plant-based salad. Like lettuce. No, I'm kidding. I really don't know what's on that. A Chef Mickey Caesar salad. A citrus poached baby shrimp. That sounds pretty good. With a creamy cilantro lime broccoli slaw. Greens, avocado, and tomato. Ooh, glad to get that. And the pastry chef's bread selection. So get your carbs there also. Some of the dinner options. These are the plated items, signature items. The potato gnocchi with a roasted mushroom cream and baby spinach. With parmesan and herbs. Some roasted garlic gratin potatoes. and a plant-based farro wheat fried rice. Yum. I don't know. Accompanying those, you can get that with some baby carrots, which the kids always love, and asparagus with a gremolata. How about that? And the protein selection. So now we're getting into the meat of the menu, if you will. The prime rib with a mushroom ragu and roasted onions, a traditional roasted breast of turkey, roasted salmon, or a tofu bowl if you're looking for something a little more plant-based under your protein selections. The child selections for the as advertised $36 per child is macaroni and cheese, chicken nuggets, turkey corn dog nuggets, tater puffs, and steamed broccoli, and also the Chef Mickey's vegetable dippers with ranch dressing. The pastry chef's special family-style desserts are Mickey Mouse domes, strawberry cream cake, an apple crumble tart, and chocolate raspberry tarts. And again, we got some non-alcoholic mocktails for the kids. You got some beer, hard seltzer, some alcoholic options for the adults, which you might need after spending $55 and $36 for some dinner. But I'm sure, you're eating at Disney World. You're right next to the park. You're in a deluxe hotel. So you get a lot for all that. I got to say, I love the big throwback to the prime rib. Going back to the 70s at Disney, prime rib was everywhere. But they've always had the prime rib at Chef Mickey's also. There is that. I'm not sure there's a big, huge... it's not quite the selection that we were used to when it was a buffet, from what I'm kind of seeing here. Like I said, the main dishes, the main proteins with prime rib, turkey, and salmon. Interesting. I'm going to be anxious to see some pictures of this and some actual reviews if this is out for a while. But the other big news, dining, Walt Disney World, is another former buffet restaurant. We're going over to the Beach Club Resort. Deluxe hotel, fantastic hotel. The hotel portion actually opens the end of the month on May 30th. And the DVC portion has been open for a while now for all our DVC listeners out there. So we're going to jump over to the Cape May Cafe. We're going to start off with the breakfast menu there. This is a really short menu from what I recall. Cost for the Cape May breakfast. Now this is going to seem like a bargain compared to Chef Mickey's, just so you know. Cape May is $25 per adult, and the kids are $14. So this is a little easier to take for a breakfast at a deluxe resort. And here, you're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Epcot and the Skyliner. So you can get the Hollywood Studios right after breakfast, Epcot right after breakfast. Your breakfast offerings at Cape May are assorted house-made pastries and breads. Get your croissants, your fresh rolls. They have something they're calling a lobster tail layered crispy pastry filled with pastry cream. Now, I don't think there's any lobster in this. I think it just looks like a lobster tail, kind of the flaky, crust-like ridges, kind of like a lobster tail. Mini muffins with butter, jelly, and a chocolate hazelnut spread, which is a generic term for Nutella. You can get a yogurt parfait with the mixed seasonal fruit. Omelets. Omelet selections are ham and cheese, western, and a veggie omelet. And a hot breakfast platter, which has your Mickey and Minnie waffles, your seasonal pancakes, a brioche French toast, scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage, potato barrels. Again, just apparently a generic term for tater tots. And a beef hash. And those are all the breakfast options actually at Cape May Cafe, which I do love the beach club in the morning. The sun's shining in all the windows there. You get your day ahead of you. Get yourself a good breakfast. Again, $25 adult, $14 per kids. It's still going to be a little pricey for a breakfast, a lot easier to take than a Chef Mickey's. And again, you're at Disney, so you have to allow for that. But where Cape May usually really shines is its dinner menu. If you're a seafood fan, Cape May has always been the place to go. Cape May Cafe, not a seafood buffet. Because I realize that going in, it's going to be more of a family-style restaurant. For at least right now. I'm not saying they're not going to bring it back. And even Disney's saying they're not necessarily not going to bring it back. It could go back to a buffet at some point. But let's go over what the menu is right now. The Cape May Cafe, before we get to the menu for dinner, $42 per adult and $25 per child. I'm going to say for seafood, this isn't a horrible price, but we're going to get into a little option they have coming up here in a little bit. The starters, Cape May Cafe. Breads and spreads, you got to know that. You got your Parker House rolls with cornbread, with roasted garlic herb butter, salted butter, and a cheese spread. Interesting. And you also get plant-based breads and spreads are available if you would like to request that. You also have a seasonal harvest salad with arugula, kale, romaine with orange segments, cherry tomatoes, red onions, and sun-dried cherries with a citrus vanilla vinaigrette. Interesting. Okay, let's get to the entrees. Once again, the meat of the menu, if you will. If you're the seafood person, this is the item for you. Is the seafood boil. It has mussels, peel-and-eat shrimp, Cape May clams, the catch of the day, with red bliss potatoes and corn on the cob. If you're more of a beef person, or at least not a seafood person, your options here are the turf platter, which has slow-roasted strip loin with a chimichurri and house-made steak sauce, an oven-roasted lemon pepper chicken, mashed potatoes, and farmer's market vegetables. A couple of other options here are the lobster macaroni and cheese, or the portobello steak or tofu platter. Now I know you're thinking to yourself, Tim, I'd love to go to the Cape May Cafe for the crab legs, because crab legs are fantastic, and I like to experience the stampede in Lion King when Mufasa met his ending. Because that's what it would be like a lot of the times when they would wheel out the crab legs. But they're modified that, so you don't have to worry about that so much, which might be a big plus going here in my opinion. But they have what they're calling the additional seafood boil enhancements. So if you're getting the seafood boil, now these are an additional charge. If you would like to get the steamed crab legs, and this is per pound, $29. So the original seafood boil was, let me roll up because I forgot what it was, $42. But if you want to add the pound of steamed crab legs, that's an additional $29. If you'd like to add a whole Maine lobster instead of, or in addition to, which, that might be the way to go too, whole Maine lobster, $35. So, it was never cheap there when they had that before, but, if you're not into the steamed crab legs or the Maine lobster, you can save a little bit of cash there. If I were to go, I think I would actually make the steamed crab legs jump. It's your vacation, you got to get something. And if you love seafood, Cape May Cafe, excellent. I will say I've not tried the boathouse yet, though. I got to get over there. I'll get over there as soon as I can. Desserts over there, they just have assorted house-made desserts from our bakery. I have a feeling it's probably the standard Disney desserts you've probably seen on the buffets multiple times. It'll just kind of, I don't know if there'll be a dessert tray where they wheel them out to you and under a little dome you can pick them out, or they'll just be on a menu, you get them there. But they also have, besides the desserts, your non-alcoholic mocktails, your adult cocktails. You've got a relatively decent-looking wine list there, as well as allergy-friendly options for those. Again, if you're allergic to seafood, I would not opt for the seafood bowl. I would probably opt for the turf platter. But that's a good thing about this Cape May restaurant. If you have people in your family, like I do, that are allergic to seafood, they can get the steak boil. If you're into seafood, you get the seafood boil. I'm sure they don't cook them together because of cross-contamination and allergies that way. So now that I'm hungry, I'm in the mood for seafood that I'm probably not going to get for a while. And I really want to make a reservation for Cape May Cafe for some point. Let's look forward to fall. I know we've all been looking forward to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party coming back, but Disney did make an announcement. While the Not So Scary party is not coming back, they are coming back with a special event, a Disney After Hours Boo Bash. That's BOOBASH, the Boo Bash. It will take place select nights, August 10th through October 31st, for 3 hours, 9 p.m. to midnight, where your spooky festivities will include holiday-themed cavalcades. People love the cavalcades. The character sightings throughout the park, special performances by the Cadaver Dans, special decorations, lighting, music, with treat stops, with plenty of candy and so more. I don't know, but I'm guessing all the candy will be prepackaged in nice little bags. They just hand you the bag. Although I know a lot of people like to go to these things to get lots of candy. I'm kind of like, I can buy a big thing of candy at the store. I want to do attractions and more entertainment than wait in line for some candy, but that's just me. The tickets will grant you admission to the Magic Kingdom Park as early as 7 p.m. without the need for a day park ticket or a Disney Park Pass reservation. I will say, this is fantastic. The fact that you don't need to have the park admission ticket, so, the day ticket, you don't have to have a reservation. You can just buy this party ticket, be good to go, is fantastic. I will say the Disney Park Pass reservation system, while I understand why they're doing it, it's so limiting. Like when I was just down there a couple months ago, I had texted a couple people. I was in communication with a couple people. They wanted to get together with us. But, we had our park reservations. They couldn't get park reservations because they were annual pass holders. It was just too late. It's taken away a lot of the spontaneity of planning a Disney trip or meeting up with people. So that's one of the things I can't wait till that's gone. I know people are going to say it's going to last forever, but there's going to have to be some kind of option for people to get there last minute to want to meet up in a park. It's just Disney vacations have always taken a lot of planning. Let's remove a little bit more of that planning that was thrown on and piled on because of the pandemic situation we're in. Anyway, guests young, old, and immortal. Oh my goodness. I don't know if they need a ticket or not if you're immortal. Can dress in costume for the occasion and get their fill of Halloween candy. As an important reminder, costume masks are not permitted for adults They can only be worn by children younger than 14. Said, in addition, all guests are required to wear approved face coverings during the event. Don't wear a mask, but wear a mask is basically what I'm seeing here. So I'm sure that'll be a little confusing for people later. Although before you arrive, just be sure we check all current regulations, because by then I have a feeling the mask thing might even be less important than it is now. And while the main headline for this is, the party's going to be from 9 to 12, some of the dates in August and September are actually going to be from 9:30 to 12:30. So if you want to be in the park until the very early morning, kind of like the old days when it was open to like 1 and 2, although it's only 12:30, you can get some of that feeling back by the Boo Bash. So Boo Bash coming this fall, actually summer, and going into fall, as a good Disney party would do. All right, I better wrap this up. I've rambled enough. Plus, I might have to go make some seafood now of some kind. Maybe we'll just make some shrimp. That'll be relatively easy. Anyway, if you have not yet, please go over to ResortLoop.com/survey. Take our listener survey for 2021. Help steer the direction of the ship. See how things are going. There might be it's real quick. There's only a few questions on there. Most of them are just, click the circle. There's constantly, I did put comment boxes in there. If you want to leave a certain comment about a question. At the very end, there's like a big comment box, anything you want to let me know about. But if you say something like, you'd like to help contribute to the show, make sure you put in your name and email or some way for me to reach you, because I have some things there people want to contribute, but I don't know how to reach them, because I also did it as a kind of a anonymous survey. So if you didn't really want to say who you are for, whatever privacy, or worried about offending me, please don't. Please just tell me the truth on any of these questions. It's totally fine. I would actually appreciate the honest feedback. Also, if you're thinking maybe you want to go to the Beach Club Resort, hit some Cape May, consider booking your trip through Resort Loop Travel. I would appreciate that. And also, if you're thinking of moving to Disney, look up our friend Victor over there at Disney at Your Doorstep. He'd love to help you out find a new home where Disney would be at your doorstep. See how that was done? Fantastic. Everybody, thanks for listening. I'm Tim Scott. Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com. Once again, you've been listening to The Gateway to the Magic. We will see you, everybody. Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com.